So, the core standards for teaching and learning are to communicate high expectations and standards for academic and social development of students, to coach staff and teachers on the evaluation of student performance, and to focus upon student learning as a driving force for curriculum and instruction and instructional decision making. Now, our goal is to become more targeted in our instruction as well as to be more data driven and purposeful so that we can have more effective differentiated instruction in the classroom. So, what methods are you using to gather information that you need to plan instruction based on your students' needs?
I use several different methods to plan my instruction. These include observations, daily and weekly assessments. These can be formative or summative depending on the activity, state test scores, the benchmark scores. Once I look at these scores, I plan my instruction in a way that I'm able to differentiate among all the learners.
Okay, good. What strategies are you using to differentiate instruction that's working in your class?
I group my students by their ability and understanding. For example, students that are not proficient in forming and using regular and irregular plural nouns are pulled to my small group table to work on this skill. Students that need a challenge with this skill have created a story that correctly uses regular and irregular plural nouns throughout the story. I also create learning stations that reinforce this skill for the students to continue to practice for better understanding.
Okay, so how do you know what you're doing is working?
I continue assessing my students to see if they have gained the knowledge they need for a particular standard. The example of the strategy I used was successful because my struggling students gained a better understanding of the concept, and in turn, their next assessment on this skill reflected their understanding of it. Scores improved and students were able to create sentences themselves using regular and irregular plural nouns. My students that needed a challenge were pushed further because they had to go more in depth with the skill and in more challenging way.
Okay, good. So it sounds like you have a good plan. What goals have you set to continue the success of your students?
I plan to continue by looking at the data and that I know where my students are academically, and I'm able to plan instruction based on their specific needs.
Very good.